The asbestos issue is not a thing of the past. It continues to this day.
We want to end this man-made disaster.
So let's ban asbestos.
Thank you, Paul. What an honor it is to be here, and how terrific was that U.S. Surgeon General's talk. How could you not feel empowered after that? It's an incredible thing to have leadership at a level like that come with us and walk the walk and talk the talk. I was just incredibly inspired. I've been excited about this for about 4 years because basically grief brought me to ADAO. My father died of mesothelioma. He lost his battle almost 32 years ago. And he was younger than I am today. I'm 55, he was 52. So the grief just kind of keeps on coming. And I think this is too long for me to be involved with it. And then I think, oh, no. This is part of who I am. It's part of the fabric of who I am. But he was a plumber, and how he was exposed was making boiler paste as an apprentice, and then he helped build the Trojan nuclear plant, also up in Oregon. Kind of close to where Paul was sharing, he had his first biggest exposure to asbestos. I had exposure from his work clothes. And I didn't really want to think about that very much because it's kind of unpleasant when you know and you're close to someone who's suffering from mesothelioma and ultimately loses their battle. I think it was something I was so afraid of, I literally didn't even talk about it for decades, because now I have to realize how old I am. But let me change this. I chose this rough road sign. It looks kind of cryptic, but the journey is rough. It's rough. It's rough whether you lose a loved one, if you fear getting mesothelioma, or if you have the absolute misfortune of having to deal with it within your own life and your own body. I think that moving forward, grief helps us grow sometimes. I used to think that if I just could learn a little more about grief, it might go a little bit faster. But that's just not how it works. When I first came to ADAO 4 years ago and went to Atlanta, Georgia, on an airplane all the way across the United States to try to figure out how to resolve this unresolved grief for myself, I was just a daughter of a victim of asbestos. But since my involvement with ADAO, I'm now a daughter of a mesothelioma warrior who lost his battle. And I'm a friend to many other warriors and their families around the world. Advocacy has replaced my fear, absolutely replaced my fear. And the anxiety and worry of getting meso myself someday, because I know I've had exposure, has been replaced with awareness and action. I've actually kind of become a force to be reckoned with, as many of you have. I can honestly say that. It's true. The cycle of grief, I have to, come on, where are you? The cycle of grief looks kind of simple. This would be nice if it was a little bit of a road map. But the reality is, it takes its own sweet time. It just won't end. But ADAO has given me a place to put that. And within ADAO, we don't even have to have a lot of conversations about grief because we already know. We already know. It's unspoken. If you have a parent that's had it, if you have a child that's had it, if you've had it, we don't need to talk about it. We can. It's a safe place to do that, but it's all unspoken. This is my dad, my angel. So who else in your life gets excited about getting soap on a rope for Christmas? Your dad does. He taught me a couple things that have carried me a long way in my life. One of them was, he used to say, when I'd be mad at someone when I was a kid or I wasn't getting along with somebody, he'd say, man, God loves everybody, so you don't have to. So he never told me to hate anybody or anything. He just told me it really wasn't my job to love everybody. And then he always told me, don't ever get mad, just get even. And I can't seem to shake that one at all, especially when it comes to this. So my dad gave me his foundation and roots to grow from, even though he left way too soon. And I'm really eternally grateful for what he gave me. The number one lesson he probably taught me was, if you believe in something, just do it. Go for it. What do you need to do to get there? And we rarely do these things by ourselves. I often post tributes on my personal Facebook page. Linda Reinstein does this beautiful job of putting these together, and we share them with our growing ADAO community around the world. Whenever I post a tribute to another warrior that has lost their battle with mesothelioma, I think of their family, their sons, their daughters, wives, husbands, grandchildren. It's exponential, the harm that asbestos causes. But they know they're not alone. No one's alone anymore. You can come on Facebook. I just posted something yesterday and it was retweeted to 8,000 people. The social media empowerment through social media is incredible. I really believe this. We never lose the people we love, even in death. They continue to participate in every act, thought, and decision we make. Their love leaves an indelible print in our memories. We find comfort in knowing that our lives have been enriched by sharing their love. And I think that's true for all of us. So accepting the unacceptable. It's really easy to just be ticked off, mad, not wanting to deal with it, but we have to accept this is what we have. It's not okay that asbestos is not banned in the United States, but as a member of the ADAO family, I and many other experts you have heard here today, warriors living with mesothelioma, families and friends, we take this challenge and we accept the unacceptable. The Surgeon General said it himself, what can you do? Commitment. Winston Churchill, I love that he said this, never, never, never give up. Asbestos has interrupted many of our lives, but our commitment is growing and unwavering to provide education for prevention and advocacy for victims and their families. I believe if we can get our elected officials to feel the pain, we will make progress. And this is my last slide. Change ahead. I've seen so much change in the 4 years since I've been involved with ADAO, I can't even write it all down. The U.S. Surgeon General here today, I mean, incredible connections, Linda Reinstein and all of you make a difference. I think we'll see a ban on asbestos in my lifetime. And shame on Congress if they don't listen. As a matter of fact, I hope they feel guilt. And in my closing statement, let's just combine that and make it shilt. Thank you very much, and keep doing the work you're doing.